I am the Mets head, talking all things New York Mets, with a preview of Game 23 versus the Minnesota Twins. If you enjoy my content, I ask that you please like and subscribe to the Mets head on YouTube, but also on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. It is Tuesday, April 21st, 2026. We are back home in Queens after an abysmal, winless road trip. We had a day off yesterday, and now we begin a 3-game series against the Minnesota Twins. We have lost 11 games in a row. Hopefully, it only goes to 11. After losing the last two in Arizona, then swept in California by the A's and the Dodgers, and then the trifecta of being swept by the Chicago Cubs. We scored 16 runs in that 9-game road trip, averaging 1.77 runs per game. We gave up 48 runs during that same period for an average of 5.33 runs per game. We are currently 7-15, which is last in the NL East and tied for last in Major League Baseball with the Kansas City Royals. We are 29th out of 30 in runs scored, 14th in runs against, surprisingly, and 26th in run differential. The Twins are 11-11. They are in third place in the AL Central. They have the 8th most runs scored in the league ahead of the New York Yankees. 17th best in runs against, which is similar to ours, but 9th best in run differential. Today was supposed to be the Battle of the McLeans. Mick Abel, whose given name is McLean, was to start against Nolan McLean. What a matchup. Too bad it's not going to happen because Abel was placed on the 15-day DL and will not pitch in this series. I wonder when we will ever get the Battle of the McLeans again. Hopefully many times in their career. So on the mound for Minnesota is either going to be some lefty they bring up for the minors or Simeon Woods-Richardson. Richardson has a career, has pitched in 57 games, is only 12-13, but has a 4.35 ERA. He has 243 strikeouts in 275 innings pitched. Last year, he pitched in 23 games. He was 7-4 with a 4.04 ERA and 107 strikeouts in 11 innings pitched. This year, he's pitched in 4 games. He's 0-3 with a 6.10 ERA and only 11 strikeouts in 20 innings. He had a decent first 2 games, but then he gave up 5 to Toronto and 6 to Boston. My suggestion for the Mets lineup against Richardson would not be a conventional one. Taking in consideration how poorly the Mets have been hitting and how poorly some of their left-hand hitters have been hitting, even against right-hand pitching, I think some unconventional things need to happen. Unfortunately, Mendoza is our coach, and he doesn't even do conventional or even intelligent at this point. Leading off is not Carson Bench. I thought that was a silly idea to begin with. The guy wasn't hitting or walking, so why lead him off? He's currently batting 143 with a 435 OPS. You don't start off the game with that. You bat him ninth. The guy needs to develop. He's not Juan Soto. He's not a veteran. He hasn't proven himself in the major leagues. Don't lead off your worst hitter at this point. Instead, I would lead off Bo Bichette, who is batting 217, but he is 2 for 4 with a home run against Richardson. Then I bat Lindor second because I think he'd be more useful right now as a number 2 hitter than a leadoff hitter without Juan Soto. And also, I like to surround him with right-hand hitters because he's not very good against left-hand pitching. Third, I think, is deserved to Francisco Alvarez. He's been our most consistent hitter this year. He is batting 268 with an 879 OPS. Reward him for his hitting, his consistent hitting, and his enthusiasm. I think the fact that we have 3 full-time catchers and Melendez as an emergency catcher should put Alvarez in the lineup every day. Alvarez should DH tomorrow, and Terren should catch. Then normally, you know me, I usually switch lefties and right-hand hitters. But I think Luis Robert should bat fourth. Even though he is 0 for 5 against Richardson, he has been hitting better than I expected him to, batting 257 with the 737 OPS. I also think having 2 righties behind Lindor may prevent the opposing team from bringing in a lefty to face Lindor. Batting fifth would be my only left-hand hitter in this lineup, MJ Melendez. Only because he's been hitting so well. He's batting 357 with an over 1,000 OPS. He's also 2 for 3 against Richardson with 2 doubles. Then I think I'd bet Vientos sixth. It could be Vientos, it could be Semien, but I'm thinking Vientos sixth. Mostly because he's slower than Semien. And I'd like to put a little bit of power behind him to possibly knock him in if he's on base. Vientos is only batting 222, but he is 1 for 2 against Richardson with a double. Then I'd give a surprise start to Tommy Pham. Pham is 0 for 8 so far with the big club, but he is 2 for 5 against Richardson with a double and a homer. Then I bet Semien or Vientos, but I think Semien because he hasn't hit as well against Richardson. He is batting 234, but he's only 1 for 6 against Richardson. And then I'd start Luis Torrens again. He's batting 261, and he's 2 for 2 against Richardson. Now, Beatty and Benj have never faced Richardson. But at this moment, Richardson's doing better against left-hand hitters than right-hand hitters. Usually, I would suggest starting as many left-hand hitters as possible versus the right-hand pitcher. But with Beatty and Benj hitting so poorly, and Pham and Torrens having success against Woods-Richardson, I would sit them. They should not be guaranteed starting positions on the team. Although I believe they will be integral to our team this year. But it may be more beneficial to sit them for a couple of games right now to try to take advantage of some hint of an edge over the starting pitcher. On the mound for the Mets will be Nolan McLean. Definitely our best pitcher so far this year. In 4 games, he's 1-1, but he has a 2.28 ERA and has 28 strikeouts in 23 innings. At this moment, he is our ace. He's better than Peralta. His year has continued from the great year he had at the end of the year. Last year, when he pitched in 8 games, was 5-1 with a 2.06 ERA. He also had 57 strikeouts in 48 innings. The possible lineup he is facing tomorrow has Byron Buxton leading off, batting 235. Batting second is Trevor Larnach. In left field, a left-hand hitter, batting 265 with an 880 OPS. Then right-hand hitting Luke Keeschel at second base. The rookie's only batting 209 this year. Surprised he's still batting third. Batting fourth is Matt Wallner, the left-hand hitting right fielder, batting 181. Batting fifth is Josh Bell, the switch hitting veteran, batting 263 with an 800 OPS. He is the only Twin to have faced McLean and is 1-for-3 against him. Batting sixth, they have Ryan Jeffers, the catcher, right-hander, batting 278 with an 854 OPS. I definitely would shift those two up. I'd put Josh Bell third, Jeffers fourth, then Wallner, then Keeschel. Batting seventh is the left-hand hitting Cody Clemens, playing first base, batting 154. Batting eighth is switch hitting shortstop Brooks Lee, batting 219 with a 661 OPS. And batting ninth and playing third base is left-hand hitting Tristan Gray, batting 250 with a 744 OPS. Might be a good idea to move him up in the lineup. I move Clemens and Wallner down, in my opinion. On the bench, they have a switch hitting Carantini. He's hitting 258. Martin batting 311 with a 928 OPS. I think he's a backup. Outman batting a cool 91. Kreidler batting 214 with an over 1,000 OPS. And Royce Lewis is on the DL. Surprise, surprise. So let's go, Mets go. Let's break this losing streak. Until next time, happy birthday, Nikki. I'm Juan God.